What's happening, everybody? I just want to fill you in on what I've been up to lately. I just did my 7th 10-day Vipassana meditation course, and I just want to tell you some of my revelations, tell you what I went through, and hopefully inspire you to do it, even though maybe I'm not going to make it sound very appealing because I struggled so hard. So what happens at Vipassana, in case you haven't seen my other vids about it, it's a meditation course where you meditate for 10 hours a day for 10 days. You don't talk at all, you don't talk to anybody, you don't look at anybody, there's no phone, there's no writing, there's no books, there's no TV, there's nothing. You are just with everything that comes up inside of you, and you learn this technique hour after hour. It goes a little bit more deep, a little bit more deep, and they describe it as being like a surgery on your mind, basically. So you stay there for the 10 days and you learn this thing, this amazing technique, and then you come out of there just feeling amazing if you do it right. So I've been there, this is my 7th 10-day course. I've been, every single time I go, I learn something new. This time was no different, but something that was a little different this time is that when I got there, for the first 3 days, I didn't want to be there at all. I was in so much pain, I was agitated, I couldn't quieten my mind, and I was just hating it. I'm like, this is the last Vipassana I ever do, I'm never coming back. I was hating it, eh? So much can change in another week. For the first 3 days, you do a technique called Anapana, which is observation of your breathing, and that's just to focus your mind. For the next week, you do Vipassana meditation, which is a physical sensation observation, and also equally important is to remain equanimous, which means you are peaceful in the moment, even if it feels good or even if it feels bad. You don't get attached to good feelings, you don't resist the bad ones, you're just observing what is, and you're accepting as it changes, because it's constantly changing. So the first thing I realized, the first revelation I had, like once I started doing Vipassana, I was cool, because at first you're agitated, you're sitting there, you're in pain, it's hard, it's so hard. And that doesn't really change, but the thing that does change is you learn how to sit with it and observe it rather than react to it. So when you learn Vipassana, then you learn that the pain doesn't need to make you move around and squirm. You don't need to add to it by adding a layer of suffering with it. The pain's there, but you're not hating on the pain. It's just there, so it's not as bad as what it usually is if you don't understand how to deal with it. And the first thing I noticed, right, the first thing I realized, because I was still really, I was finding it pretty hard still, and then every night there's a 1-hour video of the man who is teaching you the technique, because it's just a recording the whole time, so it's the same all around the world, and he does a video, he talks about the theory of the technique, why it works, what happens, he tells some funny stories, he's a cool guy. He mentioned just a couple of words, like I've heard it all before a bunch of times, but this, and every time you hear something new, and this time what I remember him saying, he said the words that this is an effortless observation. And before in Vipassana, I'm always really forcing myself to do the job, like to work and to observe, it's just an observation of your physical sensations is 50%. So instead of just like saying, oh, what's going on here, what's happening here throughout your body, moving up and down kind of thing, I'm like putting all my energy, like all this strain into observing sensations and kind of trying to force sensations and all this thing. And I realized, man, it's not that. It's effortless. You just observe, you just check it out, you see what happens. You see what's happening there. So that was the first revelation that helped me a lot, and I'm going to explain something to you later that I think is going to help you a lot with practice as well if you're interested in meditation. Because I should tell you actually now why you should be interested in meditation, man. Okay, so everyone who's vegan who watches my videos, you understand that veganism is for the animals. It's the least they deserve. We shouldn't be hurting them, we shouldn't be killing them. Veganism, what we do, that's for them. Yeah, we get so many benefits as well, but we don't do it for us. We don't go vegan for us. There's many, many health benefits, but we go vegan for the animals. Vipassana is for us. That's our gift to ourselves. When you start practicing Vipassana, your whole life changes, man. I'm going to get to some stories that just explain that a little bit more a bit later, but everything flows, you know, everything flows. Your mind is sharper, the way you talk is more articulate, the way you think is more clear. Problems aren't really problems anymore. You've got solutions instead of problems. You feel more positive, you feel less stress and less anxiety. It's like if you've ever seen that movie Limitless, that dude takes this pill, or I don't know, it's like some drug, and his whole brain switches on and everything he's charging, man, through life, like on another level that he's never been even close to before. And meditation is that thing that takes you up those steps. It's the only way to get there, man. You know, you can take drugs, but it's short-lived, it's fake, it's artificial, it's not real, you know, and it doesn't last. But meditation is, you grow that in yourself, and that's how you get to this better place mentally. You know, this isn't some spiritual thing, man. Everyone's like, meditation, nah, you know, that's spiritual, or I'm not into that kind of thing. Man, exercise for your body, like weightlifting, you want to get stronger muscles, you lift weights. If you want to get a stronger, sharper, clearer mind, you do meditation. It's a scientific process of what you go through. The technique, it's very scientific. It's not this spiritual, you know, nothing like that, man. It is a simply exercise for your mind so that you can get the benefits like you would for exercise for your body. You get so many benefits when you exercise your mind. Meditation's the way to do that. So, where was I at? So basically, that's the benefits, man. And there's many, many more, and I'm telling you a couple of cool stories that happen at the end of this meditation. So the first thing was effortless observation, you know, and then the second thing I learned is that meditation, which I've kind of thought before, I've had it a bit wrong before. Meditation is not this blissed out experience, man. It's not like you just start meditating, you start levitating away or something. It can be hard, or it can not be hard. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's blissful. But the point is that it's not always going to be blissful just because you start meditating. And so when it comes to Vipassana, I've always complicated the technique in a way that I didn't need to. So I'd be doing Vipassana, it's only two things: physical sensation, observation, remain equanimous. It's a fairly simple technique. But I'd be doing it, and because I might not be getting this crazy buzz feeling that you get sometime or whatever, I'm not getting like what I think it is, I tell myself, oh, you're not doing it right, this isn't it, man, you're not doing Vipassana. And I'm like, how do I do it? And I rack my brain, and Vipassana, if you're doing those two things, you're doing it. And that's what I realized. I'm overcomplicating this for myself. It's very simple. So the reason why this is good for me, and hopefully it's going to be good for you as well, is because meditation, unlike exercise, you go to a gym or you go for a run, like that takes a lot of energy. It's hard work. It's worth it, but it's hard work. And meditation is hard work, but not in the same way. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that now that I understand these two new things that I've taken from this course, that it's an effortless observation and that it's not this blissed out thing. If you're doing the practice, you know, whatever practice you're doing, if you're doing the technique, you're doing it. It doesn't mean you're going to have all these crazy feelings. And so those two realizations has made my meditation so much easier. When I realized that throughout the Vipassana course, I went from struggling through meditation and putting so much work in it and forcing it to just chilling with it. What's happening here? What's happening here? Am I equanimous? Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm good with the pain. I'm good with the good. It makes it far more effortless. And, you know, that's what we're like, man. That's what we enjoy, things that are easier, right? So I've made it a lot easier for myself. And maybe someone who's struggling out there thinking meditation's this really hard thing, they sit down and they can't do it. If you're doing the technique, you're doing it. Don't expect to be perfect at it straight away. Every single time, so like most people when they start meditation, they don't start Vipassana. You should do a 10-day course before you start practicing Vipassana and learn it properly. Otherwise you can go in the wrong direction. But most people when they start meditating, they sit, they observe their breathing. Great start, that's called Anapana. Really good way to get into meditation. You chill, close your eyes, sit somewhere comfortable, and you just observe your breathing. So that's all. It seems kind of like this is nothing special, and it's not. It's nothing special. But the benefits are very special. Doing this with weights is nothing special, but you get so many benefits, you know what I'm saying? So that observation of your breathing, okay, for example, you're doing that. Now people try that for a minute and they're like, man, I can't even sit and observe my breathing for 5 seconds. Yeah, we can't. That's exactly why we need to do it. But what people do, they observe for 5 seconds and then they drift off for half an hour. Partying, man, I go partying in my mind all the time. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm meant to be observing my breathing. And then I come back. And then I might be back for 5 seconds and I'm off again for half an hour. This is what happens all the time. And people give up, like, I can't do this. But that's the practice. Every time you return to your breathing, every time you become aware and go, oh, I'm not meant to be thinking about all these things. I'm supposed to be observing my breathing. That's you doing a bicep curl. And again, and every time you do it, you get stronger. So instead of going off for 30 minutes, maybe next time you go for 29 minutes, 28 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And you get better and better as your mind gets sharper and gets stronger. So basically, they're the two technique revelations I had. In terms of life revelations, I had one major one. Now, I've known for a long time I need more balance in my life. That's no secret to pretty much anyone who follows my stuff, I'd say, definitely though my friends and family have been saying that for years, and I totally agree. But having balance is a tough thing when you are working towards an important goal and billions of animals' lives are resting on your work. Not just mine, like everyone's, but it's all that job kind of thing. Anyway, so I've known I need a balance for a long time. I've been starting to get it back a little bit more this year, going back to the gym and just spending less time replying to comments. Sorry, but I need to just like chill on that a little bit because I was replying to like almost every single one on my Facebook and it got all hectic. And so I've known I need balance for a long time, but this time what I actually realized is that it's not just about me getting balanced to be a more sustainable activist. I actually realized that I was kind of doing my life an injustice by not appreciating my opportunity to enjoy it. So instead of taking these opportunities to go and have a good time and see my friends and my family and go surfing even or go party or whatever, I wouldn't do it. And it wasn't just, what I realized in this one is that I'm kind of doing life, man, like the universe or whatever, however I got this gift, I'm doing it an injustice by not appreciating it. And a lot of vegans are like, oh, I can't enjoy life, the animals don't enjoy life, why can't I? I mean, how can I? The animals don't get to enjoy life, why should I? I know so many people like that. And I've been like that at times. I haven't really felt like that lately, but I started thinking more about that. The animals would love us to be having a good time, man. Like, they don't want us to suffer as well just because they are. They want us to work hard for them, of course, but they don't want us to just suffer all the time. If we don't have to, why would they want that? They're not like that. So that revelation was good, man, and I am going to put more enjoyment into my life. I'll be doing activism for the rest of my life if need be. So, you gotta enjoy life as well, or else I'll be 20 years deep and I'm like, man, I haven't done a thing for myself in 20 years. So, okay, now here come the cool stories. So that was my biggest revelation. And also, one more. At first when I got there, I didn't want to meditate, like I said. I was like, I don't want to be here, I'm never coming back. By the end of that meditation, that 10 days, I was like, I am so sold on this technique, Vipassana. Anyone that can get to a Vipassana course, go. I cannot tell you how much value you will get from it. I cannot even describe it into words. You just have to go and experience it for yourself. It is so incredibly valuable and life-changing, and you learn this thing that you can keep with you forever. It is just phenomenal. Like I said, it's the gift to us. Veganism's for the animals. Vipassana is for us. It is incredibly good. Go, look it up online, and it's donation based. You don't have to have a lot of money if you don't. 10 days, best 10 days you'll spend, I promise you. It'll be hard, but it's so worthwhile. Alright, so, and then I decided as well, maybe not next year, because next year's going to be full on doing speeches, but probably the year after, I'm going to take 3 months out to do a 10-day meditation, 10-day service at the meditation course. 10-day meditation service for 3 months. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be epic. I'm going to get Buddha as, man. So it's going to be sick. Really excited about that. Now, at the meditation, when I had that epiphany, I was like, cool, I need to have more fun. And then I decided I was going to go snowboarding with my bro, which we're going in a few days and make some vids about it. I'm so excited just to hang with my bro for one, but also because I haven't snowboarded in years and I used to go all the time. It's one of my favorite things. Very excited. Okay, when I get out of this meditation, I went straight to a speech. It was crazy. I hadn't spoken in 10 days. I left the meditation course. Like, I got out of my seat, right? I got out of my cushion. I'd been sitting for 100 hours over 10 days. I get out of that, I go to the car, I drive like 4 hours or something, and then I get out to this festival. I get swarmed by people wanting selfies and wanting to chat, and I broke myself into a million pieces over that 10 days. So I was just trying to put myself back together, all these people, talking, I hadn't even spoke, like, it was mayhem in my head, eh? And then I had to do a speech. It was like the first thing I went into. But just before the speech, I see this dude who I know. His name's Scott. He's an absolute legend, man. He's a Sea Shepherd volunteer. He does speeches as well. Really smart guy. And when I met him a year ago, he's like, man, you got to come scuba diving with me. And I was like, bro, I'd love to. I love scuba diving. But in my head, I'm thinking, I don't really make time for things for myself, man. Like, it's never going to happen. About 6 months later, I see him again, he's like, scuba diving, and I was like, yeah, keen as, but obviously I knew I wasn't gonna make it happen. I see him this time. He's like, bro, I've organized this thing so you can get a half-price open water diving course. You just have to call up on this day, you can do it anytime you're doing it. And I was like, man, I am gonna do it. You caught me on the perfect day. I just was looking to fill my life with something good like this. Perfect. So, like, let me back up a little bit. When I had this revelation that I need to add more fun in my life, that's the easy bit. I know what I need. The hard bit is, how do you get it? How do you make it happen in your life? You know, okay, I know what I need. How am I going to do this? Like, how do I incorporate this into my life? That's the hard bit. Well, that is for me anyway. So, and this is how, right? This opportunity came. It's like the universe just sent him, man, like that. First dude almost that I see. Hey, man. Basically what he said to me is, hey man, you just had this revelation. I got the perfect thing to help you align with that revelation. And this is where this is your job now. When these things happen, that's when you gotta be like, yes. You gotta say yes to life. That's the trick. If he come and I'm like, oh yeah, nah, still he's busy, man. Boom, like, it ain't gonna happen. So that's how you incorporate it into your life. You be aware of when the opportunities come, you say yes to life. Second opportunity, so that did happen, that's all good. I was like, full on, man, can't believe the first thing that happened to me pretty much. Second thing that happened, about 3 months ago, I put it out on my socials. I was like, man, I cannot do this on my own anymore, you know, like, I do everything by myself. I don't have a team. There's a couple of people that have helped me with a couple of small jobs a couple of times, but 99% of everything me related, I've done myself. All my scheduling, all my flights, the t-shirts, the speeches, the travel, the posts, the vids, like everything, man. And I suck at organizing stuff like flights and you should see my schedule. It's a joke how much is there, and it is a joke how unorganized it is. And then countless emails, countless messages. It's hectic, and I try to get back to most people when I can. Although that's like dying off because it's just too many now. Anyway, another story. So a few months ago, I put out that thing. I need help. A bunch of people like, I put my hand up. I'd love to help you. And I was like, cool. And then this one person in particular, Nellie Grace, she said to me, messaged me, she's like, I would love to help you, James. Like, I'd be honored to help you. I want to contribute some way, you know, all this. And I was like, cool. But then a day later or something, I was like, nah, I need to do this. You know, no one can help me. I got to do this myself, whatever. So that happened and never happened. I just got super swamped, man. And it was, you know, nothing's changed. I see her there, and I met her like a couple of times before, and every time I meet her, she praises me so much. It's like she just gets me, like she gets how hard I work, and she just understands where I'm at and what I want to achieve, and she's like the most supportive person, you know? She just supports me so much, and she's just very great encouragement. When I see her, I just walk away being like, whoa, I'm doing a good job, man, like, you know, I feel really good. So she gets me, and I don't know, it's just cool. So I see her, And we're just chatting for a bit, and then just because of what happened with Scott, I'm thinking maybe this is another thing. So I just felt the waters. We were just talking about whatever, and I said, oh, by the way, thanks heaps for when you offered to help me a few months ago. You know, thanks a lot, I appreciated it. And she was like, James, I would be so happy to help you. I'd love to help you. Like, it would be doing me a favor. I want to contribute to the animals. And she said one thing that really helped me. She's like, no job would be too small, because I was worried about like giving, you know, crappy little jobs to people, and they're like, why is he getting me to do this, you know? And so she's like, no job would be too small, anything you need. And it was just perfect timing, you know? If she had said that a day later, I might have got over it. But that day I was like, you know what? I am gonna take you up on that. And so since then I've been working to pass on like my emails and my schedule to her, and we'll just see how that works and go from there. Like, massive help for me. Someone else could do it in a tenth of the time that it takes me to do all that stuff. And I want to create content. Like, I want to be doing this, not replying to emails and booking flights. Like, anybody can do that. And if someone else is happy to, mad, good, let them, you know, I'll do this. So that was amazing. And, you know, these are the little things that happen, right? Like, when you put a new intention out there, you just got to be observant, and when they come, you just say yes to life. So, I don't know, I think that's about it really. Like, there's a bunch more stuff kind of, but I don't know, I just wanted to fill you in and just tell you that my 7th Vipassana course was an absolute sensational experience. I learned so much. I've been meditating 2 hours a day since, which is like 3 or 4 days now. Still pretty good, and I plan to keep up that 2 hours a day meditation for as long as possible, hopefully, you know, forever. But things happen in life. But I'll give you a tip: if you want to get into meditation, you wake up a little bit earlier, you sit up and you meditate before anything else. You sit up out of bed, or you sit up in bed even, doesn't matter, and you just do that observing of your breathing, you know, whatever meditation you practice. Get it done then. Then one of the most beneficial, important things you can do in your whole day, you've done, and you haven't even left your bed yet. So many things you can do like that. So do that, and then just before bed as well. Go to bed a little bit earlier, do your meditation then. That's what I do, that's the best for me. It works every time. Yeah. So I got a bunch of vids coming, I got some cool stuff coming. I'm excited, I had some cool ideas while I was away. If you got any vids you want me to make, let me know. If you want any more info about Vipassana, ask questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And yeah, alright, sweet. So that's it, and thanks for watching my vid. Peace.